Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Right now, we are in the third and fourth place match. It's tied up 1-1 in this best of 5, and we are on Vermeer, probably the best map that we have right now, and some great spawns, cross spawn here with Soso in the top right and Motive in the bottom left. These guys have had a couple of really great games. I think I saw a lot of comments saying that game number 2 was one of a lot of people's favorite TVP that they've seen in a while. Definitely a very interesting one. A lot of action back and forth. So hope that you guys have already seen that and are joining me here now for the game number 3. Whoever wins this, of course, will be on that ever important match point, right? Like you're gonna have 2 chances at victory from that point. So may the best player win. Or the Protoss player. Thank you guys for checking out ArtosisCasts. As always, it is greatly appreciated. We're back on track now with the CNSL, and I have some other great tournaments that are going to be going as soon as we're done this as well. Obviously, after this, we only have that finals match between YSC and Beast. That should be a really good one. YSC, our best performing Protoss in this tournament, and Beast looking unbelievable against Motive in that previous round. There was a lot of people talking about just how strong his play looked, so looking forward to that finals as well. But yeah, if you aren't subscribed, it's a great time to subscribe. It's a great time to give it a like, to leave a comment, to hit that notification bell. You know, all these things help a lot, so thank you guys. All right, looking at the actual builds here. So kind of an interesting first depot right there, and then puts his barracks over here at the front. I mean, you could always do a second depot here if you need it. And he's going to be playing against, cross spawn Nexus first. Now, where does this probe scout? Is it going to go north, or is it going to go to the top right? Oh man, this is pure pain. So this is something that Mini has unleashed like a plague upon the Terrans, where you go Nexus first and then you cross scout, and the cross scout lets you know that you can be completely greedy, right? If Terran's up here, he doesn't need to add a second gateway. He can just play straight up, you know, one gate, non-stop probes, that type of thing. So let's see. He's going to get up, and as he scouts it, there you go. He knows exactly what's going on. He sees the timing of the factory. He knows just how strong and at what time a push could end up hitting. Oh, wow. That was actually really bad. I'm surprised. I'm surprised he stayed there and tried to put damage on the Marine. Only got 1 hit and went to 1 health on that probe. So that probe very easy to die now. You actually want to keep this probe out here to watch just in case there is going to be a push. You know, you can go cross spawn Nexus bust, but generally when you end scout, I've only seen it 1 time when you scout like this, right? End scout, by the way, is the end shape. So from here, you would go to this main and then down to this main. That scouts the close by bases so that you can send an attack against Nexus first. Cross is so far that generally you don't rush against it, but because it's so greedy sometimes like this, in a situation like this, you actually could rush against it. If he was making Marines nonstop here and had another depot being made, he could actually just send everything and probably end up busting this, but that wouldn't necessarily put him ahead because of the amount of probes being made. Either way, the command center gets started. Already we have a 3-probe advantage here for Motive, and then the SCV gets down here, blocked ramp, can't get up, can't scout a single thing, just knows that he is a bit behind. So yeah, this is one of the tougher things to overcome as far as openers go, where damage isn't dealt. Right? This is reverse damage. This is ridiculous greed that you're getting away with as Motive. He's made 1 Zealot, only 1 gateway. We're seeing nonstop probe production. And we're going to see how far up his probes get before this command center finishes. It's kind of insane. He's actually, it looks like he might end up being up 8 probes, which is one of the higher numbers that I've seen. That's non-stop probes. Non-stop. That's actually, kind of insane. Normally only Forge Fast expansions in PvT can get away with getting that many. But the command center is about to finish, and that's going to give us the final tally. Because then we get the non-stop SCV production coming out of Soso. So it is 24 to 32. Wow. Wow. That is about an 8 probe, 8 to 10, as you can see. It's in between 8 and 10. Which doesn't actually mean 9, right? It means when the SCVs are half done, the probes pop out, that type of thing. Anyways, that is a pretty gigantic lead. That's like one of the bigger leads that you're really going to see. Now, the counterplay that we see Soso going for here is laying a few mines, right? He's like sending down multiple vultures, trying to lay a few mines in here. Ooh, is he going to get the probe? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, he does get the probe and in fact has this blocking mine so he can get out with the vultures. That's really good. And he should be able to escape here. Now, he's gone for a very fast third command center. That is incredibly, incredibly fast. And it's just one factory going vultures to try to prevent anything from coming across the map at him. But the first observer is going to be out. And it's 2 gateway dragoons. So this could be a little bit tricky to end up holding. If he clears all the mines and goes directly for this base, you're not going to have a whole lot. But I don't think that's what Motive is going to do. Motive right now throws down the Stargate. Okay? So he has gone cross-spawn, Nexus first, with non-stop pro production into 2-base carrier. Now, this is considered the strongest thing that can happen in Protoss versus Terran. Literally the strongest. I actually even asked Snow in a non-joking manner while I was still in Korea about this specific circumstance. And he said it is completely imba and can't lose. So, yeah, this is a bad situation right now for Soso. It's just you get such an advantage here. Terran has no chance to attack, no chance to bust. You have so many probes, and you go into carriers so quickly. There's just, like, here, let's take a look at the army. So right now, the army for our Terran player is 2 siege tanks, 3 marines, 4 vultures. For Protoss, 2, 4... that is another 5. So 9 dragoons and a zealot with an observer, right? Like you simply can't go across the map. You can't do anything here aggressively. And of course, because he is trying to set up this third base quickly, and you can't really scout what's going on either. All you know is there's an observer. This could be 10 gateways in here. This could be Arbiter. This could be a DT drop. This could be Reavers with speed. You really don't know. So he's got to just kind of turtle everything, right? He's got to throw down some missile turrets. The Academy is always going to be later with a build like this because Academy is its own form of greed. You can't really go for it with such a fast third base. So he's not going to find out about the carriers until it's pretty darn late into it. So I am definitely a bit nervous right now for our Terran player. This is going to be a hard one to fight back from. Now, Motive's sending his probes to that third base location. Dragoon's going to just kind of clear some other locations as well. We have an observer up here. We have an observer here. So he's just kind of watching. You know, this observer can spot things like additional factories. I'm surprised he doesn't move it around a little bit more, right? This is a big barren area. It's good to move it down and see like, oh, okay, this is when the factories are being added. And in fact, he is going up to 6 factories pretty quickly here. Honestly, I think he'll go to 8 because his economy is totally rad right now. This is a great economy for Terran. 3 bases, 56 workers at just over 8 minutes. That's pretty awesome. He's definitely done a good job getting that going. But again, no idea that there's carriers. The few Dragoons walk up the map. I think he just wants to kind of keep an eye on anything that's coming out. Looks like Motive is getting ready to take another main as well, making a little pylon wall, getting that Nexus down. And that's going to be hard, right? Like, the longer it takes for Terran to move around and attack, the more time you have to build more carriers and get an advantage through those. So here we are, 8 factories as anticipated. And here is the Academy, right? So we have 25 seconds till this finishes, 25 more until he has the scanners up. So, you know, he's going to find out right around 10 minutes that this is carrier. And I tell you, we're not gonna be able to see it. We don't have a camera on him right now, but he's gonna be shaking his head. He's gonna be thinking, "Damn, this is a hard game right here." So +1 is almost done. Honestly, I think what we'll see is just massing up and just a gigantic attack coming out of Soso. He can't really play a big macro game from here because the carrier count is going to get so high. So those comm stats are being made. Vulture's kind of going around the map. Speed is almost done for them. We do have Goliath range coming as well, and he is adding 4 Goliaths at the moment. You know, that's probably... It's just like for safety's sake, I guess is the right way to put it. He knows something's up because no shuttles have come after him at all. So at this point, it's like, okay, either he's like nearly maxed and has an Arbiter, and there he goes. He finally sees it. He finally sees, right? Sees the 2 blinking Stargates. He actually didn't even see the 3rd one, but he knows that this is very fast carrier, and we'll probably see almost only Goliaths being made after these 2 siege tanks, right? Just tons and tons and tons of Goliaths. All right, kills off the Observer. Good thing to do. You don't want him to see your exact army movement. And you can see now Motive getting into position. He knows that they're going to start having some scuffles. He knows that there's no option for Soso other than attacking him. So he brings these Dragoons up to high ground. Wants to back up. It's only a small group there. Doesn't want to lose any units for free right now. By the way, Probe's already here at the additional base. Cannon being warped in. Going to be very hard to break through. Running into a few mines in the center. He's got to be careful about that. And we're already at 5 carriers, by the way, which is kind of insane. 3 more on the way. So in the next couple minutes, like 5 carriers is already very deadly. But when you're starting to get 8 carriers, 10 carriers, that's where you can kill entire armies. So the carriers come down. We'll start to get some attacks off. Only 6 Goliaths, 7, 8 Goliaths coming down. So a little bit tough to take this engage, but they actually don't have full interceptors yet. So it is actually a pretty good time for him to be down here, honestly. Scans looking for observers. Doesn't find any right there. And it looks like he should be able to kill this base. Kind of a big moment here for Soso. All right, walking through the mines. Looks like a bit of a counterattack maybe, or stopping reinforcements. This is probably just to stop new Goliaths from walking down. But yeah, the carriers coming in and attacking. The Goliath count is not that high right now. So a little bit tough to hold on to everything. But killing this base this is a good first move from Soso. More mines being laid. This army just kind of staying in between the reinforcements and the main army. He really wants to kill this off. If Motive kills this group, the game becomes much, much harder for Soso, as if it isn't hard enough already. Now comes in with those carriers, just picking off some units. A huge flank. The entire Gateway army gets on top of these siege tanks. And obviously the siege tanks are doing an okay job splattering Dragoons, but it's only a portion of his army, right? He's got so many units that were not down there. So it's like half of Soso's army will get taken out. He doesn't actually kill that much. It's still all 5 carriers in the green. Barely any hull damage. And he killed some random Gateway units, as well as 1 base. So, you know, at the end of the day, that attack, it kills a base. But is Soso in a better spot for it? I don't feel like he really is. I don't feel like he really is. I think this is still completely fine for Motive. Motive has that additional base, so has 3 bases going, and his carrier count continues to grow. We're at 8 carriers. 3 more on the way. Really, this is where you start looking at it as a Terran. You're like, I don't know. Like, how are you going to end up killing all of these carriers? It's incredibly, incredibly difficult, especially with the exclusion of upgrades. We don't have 2-1, right? He went into the 8 factories very quickly, skimped on getting additional upgrades because he didn't know what was going on. He just wanted to make sure he had enough units to not die. So he's sitting here on 1-1. Not the best upgrades. He is playing against +2 carriers here as well. Yeah, starts to poke in. And this is where you just want to see the carriers kind of grind things down and gain value for you as a Protoss player. So is expanding the top left, expanding to 12 o'clock as well. Very good moves. It's really smart, I think, to expand to other main bases when you're playing against carriers. They are kind of slow, so you have to abuse that movement speed of the carriers. Obviously, they can fly over trains, so they still get there relatively quickly, but you know, these are the types of situations when the carriers are repositioning to new areas. You need to decide, are we chasing the carriers? Are we zoning the carriers out? Are we counterattacking elsewhere? And right now, Soso just kind of sitting tight here, right? Like, I think he wants to max out before really moving forward. The carriers coming in, picking off quite a few units. He's actually targeting down specifically siege tanks right now, then going after some of these Goliaths. That's going to allow his Dragoons to come up and fight a little bit better than they were before. You don't want them in siege tank range, but they're not afraid of Goliaths or Vultures. Now, a lot of interceptors do get picked off, so that's kind of a nice small victory there for Soso, but losing a lot of tanks, definitely a trade that Motive is happy with. Motive, by the way, 11 carriers, and he's decided to only make 1 more. So he only wants 12. He only wants a full group. All right, I guess from there we can just be happy with going into High Templars, getting speed lots, that type of thing. So more Goliaths come up, but not the greatest engage here at the beginning. Trying to get one of these. Only deals a little bit of damage to its hull. And you can see just the power of this mass of carriers. right? He's got like 2 that have even taken damage through shields at this point, but he has killed a lot of units. The siege tanks being picked off left and right. That's going to allow the Dragoons to come down. And honestly, that's game, man. There's nothing left here. Nothing left here for Terran. He's going to end up losing this base. And GG. Motive takes the game. Okay, so we're actually just going to get into this next game. Motive leading 2-1 right now. May be able to just finish this series off. And look at this. Soso sending an SCV almost immediately out to the middle. It looks like we're going to have an 8 barracks opener, which is not common against Protoss. Not common at all. If they go for Zealot at all, you basically die. So kind of interesting to see. It's a big, risky play. Man, if the probe went to the center, ooh, that would be bad. But he is sending the probe down, and he's actually not going to scout Soso first, which is also lucky, because if he goes in there and sees this, it's like, oh, you have a barracks out there, and he makes a gateway, and he's totally fine. He does make a gateway. Now, I mean, let's see. I don't hold too much hope for Soso here. I have to be honest. It's like this has a very low win rate. Like it's only 1 Rax, so it's somewhat playable in every position. Not every position, but almost every position. Oh, a second Rax. But the Rax is a little bit late. Like, I mean, you're gonna be suspicious when you get there and see this. No gas, and the barracks being this late. Like, the barracks normally starts about around 1 minute and 25 seconds, right? So, this is 20 seconds late. It's pretty easy to see, but you might not notice. Let's see. SCV passes by everything, gets a little scout going, sees that there is a gateway. You know, if this was like a Nexus first, this would be a free win, of course. But in this situation, it matters what Motive thinks is going on. And, like, I think he's trying to make it look like a gasless expansion, but there are SCVs missing. The thing is, I don't think many people, like, count these things, and if he doesn't notice that the barracks was a little bit late on finishing, then maybe he doesn't figure this out. Because, honestly, if you just go, like, Dragoon production here and maybe throw down a shield battery, I'm not entirely sure, because I've never really seen this build. But, like, you should be able to overpower the rush that comes in, I would say. Motive sending out a probe here. And what's this probe for? Is this for scouting? I guess so? Second gateway being made. Uh-oh. Bad news right now for Soso. Now, SCVs being sent. That's a lot of SCVs. I mean, obviously, he's all in, so this is not a bad idea. There is a probe kind of hidden over here. I mean, he's going to come down and see those SCVs going, though. Now he realizes exactly what's going on. There's not that many gateway units, all right? Also, the pylon is right here that powers these, so this could be problematic. Shield battery gets started. He has range on the way. If he loses this pylon, I think this becomes a Terran win, right? Because he's not going to be able to finish range. Range is the key to holding this off at this point, I'd say. He kills that off. Oh my god. Starts another pylon, but the pylon doesn't start until after this pylon dies. Not a good moment. A lot of Marines in here. Oh man, and that second Dragoon was almost done as well. Everything looking pretty bad right now for Motive. You know, when he didn't open with like a Nexus first or something, I thought he was going to be able to take this relatively easily, but as is, it looks like Soso going to go ahead and tie this series up. It looks like we are, in fact, going to get a Game 5. I bet you guys thought this was not this was not going to go well. I certainly thought that. But yeah, he's making one last Dragoon. There's no cybernetics core. He restarts it. I think his thought process is, if there's no bunker in range of the minerals, maybe we can grind this down. But he's not going to be able to, realistically. Like, he's going to lose this gateway as well. He's only going to have 3 Dragoons. Maybe with 4, he does a bit better. And you can see this bunker is getting ready to hit the mineral patches, and that's unstoppable. Look at this, it pops over because of the pathing. Yeah, everything going to die now at this point. So Soso's all-in build going to end up working, and I guess congrats to him. We go on to a Game 5. Should be seeing GG literally any second. There's nothing left here. Look at this. 6 probes, 8 supply total. GG.